over here working on some supper. My crew's gonna be hungry. But anyway, we're gonna let these cook for about, where'd they go? Right here. For about we are going to bake that. Hey guys, welcome back to Dana's Health Journey. My name is Dana. If you're new here, welcome. Glad you're joining us. Today I'm going to make some wheat bread. It's one of my family's favorites, and it's easy to make and it's healthy. And at the end, I'll have to cut it up and see how many pieces I can get out of the whole. It's actually 2 loaves. It makes 2 loaves of bread. I'll have to cut it up and see how much it makes, and then we can see as far as point wise how many points it will be. But anyway, glad you're here, and let's get to baking. Okay, first of all, we're going to proof our yeast. So we're going to combine warm water, it's 3 3/4 cups of it, with our yeast, 2 1/4 tablespoons, and we're going to mix in 3 cups of flour. So let's go ahead and get that going. Here's 3 3/4 cup of warm water. You know what? First, let's check our temperature and see what the temp is. You guys see what I'm doing over here? So it's close to 100. That should be about right. Let's go ahead and add the rest of that in. 3 3/4 cup. And our yeast. There's it right here, and it was 2 1/4 tablespoons. Let's go ahead and turn that on low. Hope that's not too loud, guys. We'll add in our 3 cups of, this is whole wheat flour. Lower a little bit. There's 1. There's 2. This isn't all the flour we're going to need. It calls for like 9 cups. You kind of just check it as you go. Okay, and there's 3. Okay, we're going to mix that for a little bit. Just leave it on low. Alright guys, let's turn that off. Let's lower it down. Let's get all of the, you guys see this? We got some yeast still. We have some yeast still built up, if you guys can see this. And so we're going to try to get all that off. And then stir it just a tiny bit more, and then we're going to let it sit and proof. Here we go. Just a tiny bit more, and then we'll be ready. Alrighty guys, we're going to take that out. It says to let it sit covered. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to cover it and let it sit for 15 minutes. Okay guys, as far as my ingredients, I am using the gold medal. It's the whole wheat flour, and it's going to be close to 9 cups of that. And the honey that I'm using, I'll tell you how much when I put it in. It is the Fisher's raw and filtered. My yeast is the active dry. I really like that. And as far as the oil, sometimes I use coconut oil. You can also use olive oil. And today I'm using just regular vegetable oil. I've used all of them and they all work fine. I think the coconut oil probably gives it a little better flavor, but I didn't hardly have enough of it today. So anyway, vegetable oil is good too. The coconut oil is probably a little healthier, but We use what we got, right? And this is still sitting. We got a few more minutes left on the timer for that. And I'm going to start getting my pans out and getting those greased. I'm probably just going to hit it with a little spray. It's less points that way. But anyway, I'm so glad y'all are here with me today. Some Pam spray. Okay guys, it says after you proof it, we're going to look at it here in a minute, make sure it's all nice and bubbly. It says to add your honey, oil, and salt, and the remaining 6 cups, usually, it says add 5, and then just check it, make sure that it doesn't get too dry. It says you can mix it by hand or mixer, but if we want to use the mixer, if you want to use a mixer, you have to use a dough hook. We will change that out when we add some more flour. And you're going to need that until the dough is pulling away from the sides of your bowl, and I'll show you guys that too. And it says if more flour is needed, add just a little bit at a time once you get to that point. Then once the dough starts pulling away from the side, then we're going to knead it, and then we'll pick back up there. But I'll show you guys what it's looking like here in just a second. It should be all nice and bubbly and getting ready for us. Hi guys, while we're just letting our yeast proof over here, I was going to show you guys what I have started. I have like a little index card holder that I've always kept my recipes in, but it's so much easier to have one of these. I don't know, that may look backwards to you guys. It does to me, so maybe it'll be okay. But I have one of these, and I've got tabs in it, like for each different whether it's the appetizers or the main dishes or desserts or whatever. And then you put them in the little sleeves, and then I am messy, so I always have my stuff just covered in food and batter, and so this way you can wipe it off. Just wipe it off as you go, and it makes it so much handier. You can also stand your book up if you want to do that. You can stand your book up where you can see your recipe. Okay guys, let's see, it's been between 15 and 20 minutes. You can see it's getting all puffy, and I don't know if you can tell much about the bubbles down in there, but it's already proofing up. 1/2 cup of oil. Let's go ahead and pour that in. Let's also go ahead and put that back on. We can start mixing it up. Let's add our salt. It is 3 1/4 teaspoons. Can you see that falling? It is proof way up. Whoop. Oh, it smells good, guys. I wish you could smell it. All right, and let's add our 1/2 cup of honey. And I'm going to turn it off and lower it for that because it can get messy. This is 1/2 cup of honey. Makes it taste sweet and good. Get every drop we can. Can you guys see? There we go. Let's raise it back up and get her going. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, I'm going to read this to you just really quick. It says, mix by hand or mixer. If you're using your mixer, make sure you use your dough hook. So once we start adding some more flour, we will definitely change that out. It says add 5 cups, possibly up to 6. You will just have to pay attention. If it's pulling away from the sides of the bowl, then we're going to be good. If not, we'll add more flour. If you're using a mixer like this, you're going to need it. Once you get everything in here, you're going to need it for about 9 to 10 minutes. And if you're doing it by hand, it's about 15 to 20. So it will take a little bit longer. And it says once the dough is kneaded, it will be soft, stretchy, and slightly sticky. And that's when we're going to put it into make 2 loaves out of it and put it into our 9x5 bread pans. And mine's a little bit longer than that. I don't know if you can see, they're pretty big, but it definitely will make 2 of these. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get to mixing. I'm probably going to get this going pretty quick. Here's one. There's 2. Let's go ahead and change it out and put our bread hook on here. Oh my goodness, it smells so good, y'all. Here's our bread hook, so let's get it on. Here we go. Let's go ahead and add this. This is number, is it number 3? I hope. Okay, here we go. Let's kind of wipe around the edges before we add some more. And get all that in there. We'll probably have to do that several times. Okay guys, we're going to add 1 more cup and see how we're looking. If it starts pulling away from the edges, we'll stop. If not, we will add 1 more. It's going to start getting hard on the mixer too at this point. I've had a couple times it almost caused it to overheat and shut off, which it worked fine after, so maybe that's what they're supposed to do. But it's not quite there yet, guys. We're going to add a little bit more flour. Let's add a little bit more flour. I'll do about a half. And we'll see if it starts pulling. We're going to have to stir it up really good 1 more time for sure. Ooh, let's slow it down so it doesn't sling it out. Slowing down, guys. Let's stir it up really well. Get my spatula over here. I'm gonna go all around these sides here and get it all down and all around the edges. It is getting sticky. I think it's about there. Sometimes it's stuck at the bottom too, so let's go underneath. You guys see how that's getting really dry around the edges? Okay, let's get back. Oh, it's getting hard to do. You guys see how it's starting to pull up? It's all coming together. Maybe just a tiny bit more. You don't want it too dry, but you don't want it too sticky either. So it's just, you have to just really play with it and you learn as you go. There we go. It's starting to come on down there now. That mixer's getting mad at it. And that's all of that, and I'm going to let this mix up and set my timer for about 9 minutes, and then we'll be ready to put it into our pans. You see how it's pulling away really well? It's like it just starts cleaning up the edges. There's a little bit that's still stuck. I probably need to get my spatula, but it is definitely pulling loose down inside. And that is it. Oh yeah, and this machine is hot. Let's go ahead and unplug it. Anyway, get our dough hook out if we can. This is always fun right here because it is in there. There we go. I'm gonna wipe it up and get my dough kneading mat. Alrighty guys, we're gonna flour this just a little bit. Our yeast flour. I like to keep it with whatever type of bread I'm making. That's the type of flour that I try to use. And let's get our bread out. Our dough. Let's get our dough out. There we go. I'm going to knead it just a little bit. Get a little bit of flour on it where it's easier to work with. And I try to kind of put some on my hands as well. And then I try to even it out a little bit. And I take my cutter. This and then my mat both came from Amazon. If anybody's looking. And I try to cut it right down the middle as much as I can. Let's move this one to the side. A little bit more flour. You don't want a lot of flour in there, guys, because it'll dry out your bread. And I get my pan and I see just about, can you guys see that? Just about how long I'm going to need. So That's kind of what I do. And a lot of times I will just kind of roll it and then look, and that is just about right. If you roll it good, tuck your ends, it makes it real pretty across the top. I hope you guys can see this. And you kind of just tuck your ends in. And then I kind of just pat it out to try to level it all the way across. Okay, there's one. Get our other one out and ready to go. It's easier to put that in. A little bit more flour, not too much. Roll it out about the length you want it. And that looks just about right. So now I'm going to tuck my ends. Roll it one more time. Get the pretty side up. Tuck the ends. And I think that'll about do it. And there we go. I take a dish towel, even if you had like a cheesecloth, whatever, and wet it, and you lay it across the top. I've tried to use saran wrap in the past, and it sticks. So you could probably spray it good and then put it on there and it would be fine. But I like to wet a dish towel, and lay over the top. So I'll do that next. All right, guys, there you go. I've dampened these. They're not soaked at all. They're just damp. Anyway, I save these just for bread and different things like this. Just lay it over the top. Lay this one over the top. And it depends on how warm your house is as far as how quickly that will rise. And it says to let it rise about 1 inch over the top of the pan, and it usually does. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 3. A lot of times if I'm cooking at my stove, then I will leave it there, and that heat will really helps it to pop up there. But anyway, I will bring you guys back and show you whenever we get that done. Hey guys, I just come over and peeked at the bread and thought y'all might want a sneak peek too. It is poof. Can y'all see that? It is poofing way on up. I don't know if you can tell how much, but it's really rising on up. And I'm fixing to start on some supper. I think my guys are wanting some spaghetti tonight. So I'll leave it sitting here beside my stove. It's just right here by my burners. So that will definitely help get it to rise. But it doesn't take long. It hasn't even been probably 40 minutes, maybe 40 minutes since I put it in there and covered it up. And I've had the air going, so it's not that warm in here today. It's warm outside, but it's not that warm in here. But anyway, I'll show you again here in a little bit. I don't know if you can tell much about it, but they are definitely poofing up over the top of the top of the pans right there. And they've come up to here. So they're getting close. Hey guys, I slid them over close to where I'm cooking supper. And that heat has really helped them. I don't know if you can tell how far up. This is the top of my pan, so they are a good probably 2 inches. So they are very much ready. I've got my oven preheating at 350, and you bake them for about 35 minutes, and then they will set or rest in the pans that they're in right now. There you go. Look how pretty. And these are still just barely damp. I've got my oven preheating at 350. It's almost ready to go. But we will bake them for about 35 minutes. I try to let the internal temperature get close to 200. Sometimes I check it, sometimes I don't. I can usually tell, but we'll check it today and see. But I let it get up to about 200, and then we let it rest in the loaf pans for about 10 minutes. And then I will get my baking rack out and flip the loaves over on those and let them cool. That's going to be hard though. I was letting them cool before we eat them because, oh my word, this house will smell so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision where you guys could smell it. Well, not yet because it's not cooking yet. Well, you can kind of smell it though. You can. When I walked in earlier, I could smell it. But anyway, it's here. So excited. The oven is at 350. We're going to go ahead and pop those in for a good 35 minutes, and then we'll check them when the timer goes off. Oh yes, it is pretty and brown now. Looky there. Let's see. Let's do it right about there. Over 195. I think that'll do it. Okay, guys. I've let my bread cool. And this I got at Amazon. And it's just a really inexpensive little bread slicer. And you can take it apart and it just all folds on top of each other. But anyway, so depending on how many pieces I get out of this one, and then there's this other one here too. I don't know if you can see it, it may be too close. Anyway, depending on how many pieces I can get out of here, so what you do is you just bump it all the way against the back and you line your knives up. Just make sure you hold it where it's steady and start slicing. Hope you guys can see that. Maybe. Move on to section 2. Anyway, I've got it set to where the pieces are fairly thin, which will mean fewer points. I have made all of these slices here. Look how yummy, guys. I wish I could smell it. It smells so good. But anyway, we're gonna keep going. Look how pretty of a loaf it is, y'all. And here's all these pieces. And then guys, I got these on Amazon. Let me bring you over here where I got these on Amazon. It is the bread bags, and they've got the little twisty ties, little gold twisty ties in them. And this one has 120, I believe. And anyway, they store very well. You can freeze in them, just whatever you want to do. But that's what I keep mine in. Even when it's not warm and no butter. It's so good, y'all. And so healthy. Try it. Let me know if you do. So good. Okay, guys. There's the loaf in the baggie. And that's the big that's the big loaf. So they will definitely fit a longer loaf, and which I use them on short loaves too sometimes. But anyway, it's got the little twisty tie on it. Hope y'all enjoy, and I will I've been creating the recipe in my Weight Watchers app, and all I got to do is finish slicing up that one loaf and then multiply it times 2. Because there was 2 loaves, and see how many points they are per slice. I don't think it'll be very many. Hey guys, thanks for coming along with me making my bread. I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe got a few tips here and there on ways to make healthy bread for your family that doesn't have all the preservatives and additives and things in it. It is really, really good. I don't care that much for wheat bread, but this, I guess it's the honey in it. I'm not sure, but oh my goodness, it's good. Anyway, try it. If you do, let me know. I'd love to hear what your family thinks about it. And I guess that's it for today, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.